this is actually their intro. I'm just going to ask them to introduce themselves after this, but then I just do want to say that, dear Mogale City creators, Happy New Year. As we step into 2025, we are filled with excitement and optimism for the future of arts and culture in our beloved Mogale City. The dawn of a new year brings fresh opportunities, and we have some thrilling updates to share with you, including the election of our new executive committee, dedicated to fostering creativity and cultural expression in our community. So I actually don't even know myself much about this, but I would like to actually introduce myself. And for the viewers that don't know who you guys are, can you guys kindly introduce yourselves?
Okay, lovely. What an amazing welcome. By the way, my name is Aminos Jaca. I am a representative of Mogale Arts and Culture Forum. So my portfolio there, I'm an organizer. So being an organizer clearly means I'm representing all the portfolios that are not in the presence at the moment. Right. But if I'm here, we're here. So my lady here will introduce herself.
And I'm also a member of Mogale City Arts and Culture Forum, and as it has just developed a substructure, I'm an affiliate, Dear Women in Arts, and have the privilege to be elected as the chairperson of the Mogale City Women in Arts. So yeah, I'm over and above.
I'm glad. Thank you very much for introducing yourselves, guys. So obviously this is fairly new to me, the Mogale City Arts and Culture Forum. So, and it probably is, maybe there's someone who's listening out there who's not sure what it is. So can you kindly give us just maybe like a quick brief of what this is?
Okay, so I just firstly and foremost wanted to say Mogale Arts and Culture Forum was established 2018, if I'm still recalling the year properly. So when it was established, its main focus was to kind of bridge the gap between the community arts and the community itself. What happens in most cases that you'd find most artists understand that there's economy within the economy, within the community, but they don't know how to access it and they don't know where to start. And Mogale Arts and Culture Forum was kind of built on trying to bridge that gap and saying, you know what, let's kind of take the creatives to the process of economicalizing themselves within the community that they stay in, instead of going outside and say, not that going outside and exploring it's a bad habit, but it's a good habit. However, it's also nice to start where you derive from, you know, trying to find the economy of where you settle, because we cannot lie to say the fact that the narrative of artists not making it to the industry has been so long prolonging and going that artists, you'd find that agents are so now trying to say artists not only focus on going for auditions, but how can you find economy within where you settle? And now Mogale Arts and Culture Forum was kind of established to kind of bridge that gap and saying, you know what, let's find a way to unite and empower the arts and culture community within the Mogale City by advocating for their interest, promoting transparency and excellence, and also with facilitating professional development and fostering cooperation and inclusivity across all artistic disciplines. And that's where it was kind of derived from. So where our motto, we usually say, where creativity meets community, you know. And so now with that process, it kind of allowed us to say, you know what, we like Jesus Christ, we came here to fulfill, we're not coming here to change anything, but what has already been stamped by our artists, our fellow artists, we are kind of continuing with that and say, let's move forward, let there be proper development, you know.
I actually like your description of that. It sounds like you're actually very prepared, or you really know your job description.
That's kind of what we do.
Yeah, for sure. So like, okay, I hear that it's about the arts and culture and basically putting artists out there, you know. If you're a creative, I'm assuming that this applies to you.
Yes.
So how long has this program been going on for? And also, if you may, what was do you perhaps have an idea what was the main reason that made this? Is it an NGO?
Yeah.
What kind of established? What was the reason for this NGO to be established?
Okay, can I quickly just jump in? Before I start off with the background, I just love the slogan here with Side FM, where it says changing mindsets.
For sure.
I think as young creatives, we come together and we have different perspectives of what we are pushing as young people. And since the arts industry has somehow been sidelined, I mean, we do art because we love it, we are passionate about it. But at some point, we need to professionalize everything and make it into a sustainable a career, not just something of habit or something of entertainment, as we usually put it, which is not wrong. We sometimes do things for entertainment, but we are now changing the narrative of just doing things, but making it into a profitable and sustainable economic development for young people. So I think, as Mr. Aminos had mentioned before, that the establishment was registered in 2018. You know, and with the glitch of COVID-19, having to experience such a drastic and terrifying situation for the whole country, the whole world even.
Especially with people of color, we can't deny that these rumors or conversations and then now if we don't know the actual root of problem, we can't deal with the situation, or we can't come up with a solution towards it. And now this kind of initiative, they come and say, you know what, let's go to this space and speak our truth and say, okay, Tina, this is an organization or art as performing arts people, these are our cries, can you hear our cries? And we kind of becoming that kind of a shoulder as a forum to say, come, let's cry together. Let's hear what's the problem. Because now even the government itself, because we were speaking earlier, we spoke about the government, and we were actually saying, you know, we're saying government is failing us, and the government is, this terminology is like we the government selves, you know. So if we say the government is failing us, which means we are failing ourselves. So if we are failing ourselves, let's start sparking conversations. What could be the problem? And you realize those conversations, they kind of need a platform for them to be well narrated, well facilitated, and this kind of initiative as a forum, that's where you derive these complaints to say, okay, now let's speak. If you say as an artist, you understand that there's an economy within your area, how do you access it? And if you don't know how to access it, let's come as a forum and say, let's sit down and maneuver around it. You are not that we say we're giving you lotto, you win lotto, but let's maneuver, let's do information. Let's give each other information, because now information is power, you know, information is power. Often at times people will just put me offside because there's no proper information around that process. So this whole initiative was kind of created to say, let these complaints, let these cries, let these kingas that are forever existing within the arts, because it's kulmang arts now, you understand? And we cannot lie with the fact that in communities, sports is given more eye than arts, you know? And that kind of a process is kind of changing. It's kind of we say artists themselves to say you'd find, for instance, we are one of my community if I'd ask you prominent artists are like Achiso, those that you know, they are no longer settling here. Why? Those kind of things we trying to understand. Not that we're saying they should not go. We say no, they can go. But what we're saying is that when now these things start to happen, what about the community that they derive from? And they can't give back to the community because they kind of feel like, no, the community didn't play a role in this kind of a process. And now we're coming as a forum to say, if you kind of having that perception, or you kind of thinking there's a possibility of the community not playing a role, play your role and see how far the community can meet you, then you can capitalize on it.
Sure. I like that description. So from someone who's sitting out there listening to us talk about this arts and culture forum, right? Let's say, okay, maybe they're not sure that they are creative. So what type of people are you talking to? Who are you expecting? Let's say if I'm a young kid out there, I would like to think I'm a creative, but I'm not sure if I'll fit into this forum.
You will fit into the forum. Definitely you will fit, because what I would start base is that when we were elected, we sat down as the whole community to say, okay guys, we are the new structure.
You can just speak into the mic.
Okay, sorry. We are the new structure, and what can we clearly come up with? That's a strategic way to deal with these kind of issues as a structure. And now that you're mentioning that there's ECD within the process, early childhood, you know, there are children who are not aware, and there are artists who are aware of their art. And now we're saying, let's create a process whereby now we can have a consultation with our artist. So then we kind of created a plan of consultation and summit. So now that process it allows us within the consultation process, that's where we get to now engage with the artists themselves to say, okay, now let's identify who's dealing with development, who's now dealing with mainstream, who's at the professional stake, who's where as an artist, so that now when we start to develop sector heads or sectors within the arts itself. So when I mean sectors, we involve performance and celebration, you name them, indigenous, education,
spiritual and religion.
You see, they fall part of art and technicality. So when we also speak of technical part, we speak of people who are holding mics, holding our gears, who are putting light on stage. So now we're not excluding anyone. We are including all this.
So even you mean like even if you are in production,
definitely stage production, creative music, visual arts, craft and design, you name them, anything that involves art, bearding, those people who are about to die, knitting, that's part of art. And then we're saying let everybody come to the space, and now let's consult with everybody to understand where could be the problem be all along. Why is Singapore united? And you find unity is amongst the most ingathi when it comes to artists themselves, And then that's why when we as a forum we pride ourselves to say let's foster collaboration amongst artists themselves, because now with that process you can now know which lo unabantwana abancane umntana omncane akakazi understand yena ukuthi okay ngi-artist or kwenzakalani, because we trying to put that leverage to say abantu mababone ukuthi art is a career.
For sure.
There are people who are treating it like as a hobby.
You're actually touching into something that I was actually thinking about. I come from a generation where if I was to tell my mom that I'm actually going to pursue a career in something that has to do with art, she wouldn't take me serious.
Definitely.
She definitely wouldn't take me serious. So having initiatives like this, actually creating awareness, and I would like to think that they will make a very, very big difference, and it will get a lot of kids, so to speak, off the streets, It's very vital, and it gives you like perspective on the things that you should be focusing on as an artist, at whatever level that you're at. You may be a musician or
as a creative.
As a creative, according to how he explained it. So I think it's a very important initiative.
If you look at it, you look at it, every day we literally acting or doing art. The art of waking up, the art of walking, the art of thinking. So we are just making people conscious of what they are doing. We are just making people aware of their art being valuable. It's not just hobby. Until we understand that, we contribute so much to the society that